So, I am currently pulling a reset, and when I think about resetting your sleep schedule, there's kind of two ways that come to mind, and that's the quick way and the long way. And the quick way is kind of the way I would say my younger self used to abuse. And the quick way is knowing that you have a tournament, a game, a business meeting, appointment, course, whatever your thing is, school, and it's either the next morning early or the morning after. So say it's at like 7 or 8 in the morning and you've been waking up at like 12 in the afternoon and you know that you gotta wake up early to this thing. So maybe you would pull a reset the night before to try to get ready for that. And if you're anything like me, you know how much this sucks when you try to pull a reset and it doesn't work. You wake up in the middle of the night and you just really fuck up your sleep schedule for, however long. And then there's the long way, which is when you have that same kind of meeting thing, tournament, but it's like a week away, maybe a week and a half, maybe even a month if you're really uh, not a procrastinator like I am. And that's when you can kind of take your time with it and go slow. So that's the one I'm going to talk about first. So the simplest way of doing this, if you really got that much time, is whenever you're going to sleep and whenever you're waking up, take 15 minutes off it. That simple. When you take 15 minutes off, it's such a slight change that it doesn't affect you that much. And we all kind of have different sensitivity levels. I have one buddy, he sleeps like 4 hours, good to go for like weeks straight. And then I find myself where it's like, if I don't get my 8 hours, like, I'm cranky Kyle. So you gotta play within that. So you're going to bed at 12 at night, waking up at 8. Now you're going to bed at 11:45, waking up at 7:45. Now that does take a little bit of time. So what I like to do is I add another 15-minute, we can call it the double 15-minute rule, where you're taking that 15 off, but then I'll also take 15 minutes off my total sleep time. So maybe I can make do with that 7 hours and 45 minutes instead of that 8 hours. But I'll test it out and see if Cranky Kyle comes out. And if he don't, we're good to go. So that way, you're going to bed at 11:45 now instead of your 12. But instead of waking up at 7:45, you're waking up at 7:30. And this allows you to take 30 minutes off your time each day. So if you imagine doing that for just a week, that's a 3.5 hour difference. And that's pretty drastic when you're talking about waking up at different times. So if you're waking up at 9 a.m. every morning, and you're like, I just really want to put it on, for this next month, this next whatever, you do this for a week, and then by the end of the week, you're waking up at 5:30 in the morning, and you're going to be getting all kinds of shit done, and, it may be, you might feel the effects a little bit throughout that week, but it's going to reset pretty damn quick within that week, and you're going to feel great. I find I do at least, and yeah, that's essentially the long way. The long way's easy, like it doesn't affect you that much, so there's not too much to worry about. So the quick way, the quick way, the quick way, the quick way. This is a way where, like I said, this meeting, this thing is next morning or the day after, and we gotta get ready. So pretty much, you gotta find out what time you gotta wake up at. Like, what's every little thing you gotta do before this thing, subtract that off, know when you gotta wake up. Once you know when you gotta wake up, that's when you're waking up tomorrow. This is the quick way. So if I wanted to start waking up at 5:30 in the morning and I've been going to sleep at 12, then tonight I would just boom, go to sleep at 12, wake up at 5:30, and I would miss out on those, 2.5 hours of sleep or whatever, but then my cycle would just be reset. And essentially what you have to do here is deal with one day, maybe two, depending on who you are, sensitivity stuff, of being droggy, of being a little bit slower, and just being the things you would expect with being a sleep-deprived person. And the really tough thing here is just to be staying up for that whole day. That's the toughest part. Because if you can do that, then you're gonna wake up the next morning, you're gonna get more sleep because you'll go to bed earlier, you'll be tired. And yeah, we all know how shitty this is when you try to do that and then you fall asleep during the day. So I suggest avoiding certain things, like anything that changes your energy levels drastically is usually bad. So like, I drink coffee every once in a while, but I'm not drinking it today because if I did, it'd be like a whoop, and I'd probably just crash. Eating like tons of fatty foods, like that's gonna make you crash. Drinking lots of waters is always smart. There's other things, alcohol, like you get all like crazy, and then you just crash. So you want to avoid things that pull you away from your center, kind of thing. And for the simple reason that right now it's going to be hard for you to stay awake. So maybe even having someone come over, like it's good to plan, like have a plan for the day of how you're gonna do it. Because if you have like a task at hand, then that's gonna consume your focus, your energy, and if you have a person you're hanging out with, then they can do that, or whatever the thing is, and something to help you get through the day. Because you want to make sure that you stay up, then you go to sleep, and then you're gonna have that reset. So, quick way is kind of more intense, a little more crazy, gets the job done quicker. Everyone gonna react differently. Long way, it's slower, there's none of this ton of drogginess, and it's a way of slowly twisting the dial and manipulating yourself to wake up when you want. And I'm doing this right now so I can just get more shit done, to be honest. When it's early in the morning, no one else is awake, no one else is up, it's kind of like you have the place to yourself, and when no one else is around, there's no other distractions, and you can focus on the task at hand. So it's really cool to wake up, get 2 hours of work done before someone else is up, and then you can kind of socialize or do whatever you want, kind of thing. So just some thoughts. I plan on making a sleep series about how to sleep optimally, as well as other things to do with it. I mean, if I'm talking about the wake part of life, you might as well talk about the sleep part of life, which is kind of the two games we're playing here, right? And you want to optimize both, you want to do good in both, because if you do bad in one, it's going to affect the other. So, dreams, lucid dreaming, I have another video on mental alarm clocks, all this type of shit is just interesting, and yeah, more coming soon, so thanks for watching, guys. Peace.